That's cool for me.
All right, let's get people in place. And then all we need is a lethality who will be here playing Celine. So don't you worry about that, Ivalon. Your little weeb heart will go doki doki at our death cleric.
Oh my.
Yes.
Without Celine, who am I in competition for the edgelord portion of the stream?
To be fair, Celine's not much of an edgelord.
But she's all I got. You have fangs you won't even use.
Well, it means you just got to try harder with the plastic butter knife.
Okay, real talk here. Would you ever trust Jade anywhere near you with a plastic butter knife?
No.
I don't trust her with her flint dagger next to me.
Well, especially that. I would trust that you would be very innovative, and I'd have a curiosity to see what you would be capable of doing. But if I would want that in my, in my general area, then perhaps not. Not unless I was on your good side-ish area region.
I believe
Concept.
you're asking for the neutral side.
There, yes.
Why didn't you say good side? We know better.
Black Echo, thank you. I'm glad you like the workshop streams, and so really, this is the part where I get to practice what I preach, and I get to be held to, I get to be held to the concepts and to the table talk and to the advice that I give. Ivalon says, "I don't know if I trust Jade to be near me." Well, see, that's the thing, though, is there's a lot of times where you may not realize Jade is actually very close to you.
However, high wisdom score on that one.
So even if you don't want to be next to her, nothing is really going to stop her from being next to you.
I think that's ultimately mechanically the most terrifying thing about Jade. Is the fact that you can't be sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I know invisibility is concentrate, but is your spider climb, is that just a duration, or is that concentrate also?
I think that's
It's concentrate, but you got to remember, anybody can be Jade.
Yep, that's true. That's true.
Nobody else.
Hey, there we go.
Yes. Hey. Hello, hello. Sorry for being late. I needed to have a shower.
No,
because
that's fine.
well, actually, no, because they can't smell me through the screen. It's more a matter of I looked like if a rat and a homeless person got fused together in a freak genetics accident.
And here I was just going to ask, how's the weather down there? Because it's now autumn for you, so hopefully it's not as excruciatingly hot and withering.
It is not. It is not as hot. Hold on. Wait, I'm not on the. Wait, that side.
Take a look at the
Nope,
broadcast.
other side.
Yeah, other side. Wait, yeah.
How the heck did Piccolo and the Goku get this right? Oh wait.
They were physically in proximity. Although I have to move this back this way. Fusion dance.
Man, now y'all can pass notes in between your screens and everything. It's
No, cat, go away.
Look, we all know best fusion ever is going to be Bright and Celine, because I really want to see that.
Whoa.
It's either
I know,
Ellie
your
or
brain was just going and wait a minute.
That would be scary.
Instead of pink, it's gonna be red.
Yeah, but imagine Bright, but like an Inquisitor.
An Inquisitor.
No one expects the bride Inquisition.
Where the heck's Luke when you need him? So Bright, I'm too sober for this.
Thank you, the cat.
well, Fluffy Sheep's having some technical difficulties, but I have 4 of you here. In fact,
I'm good. I
oh,
got it
you are?
fixed.
Okay. Well, interestingly enough, Well, on my end, at least the broadcasting part is there, but I'm getting an unexpected error when I try and hit record. So it looks like I'm going to have to just download this after the fact and go into my video editor, and I'll cut this up. I'll have to fix it in post. Still, I figure we can move into this, and and I'll tell you. So Black Echo, when you said that you enjoyed the workshopping streams, and I said that this is a time to practice what I preach and such. I did want to. I wanted to start out with a couple things as DM. Number one, when we started the campaign, I wasn't sure how long it would take for us to play through the story that I had planned. And that is definitely not a knock or a subtle like, oh geez, guys, come on, can we wrap this up, please? I'm dying here.
No, it wasn't subtle at all.
We're going. I mean, I'll say we're going on a year. We still have several more months, but this has definitely been going on, and I've been enjoying myself. And so, especially with the fact that it is a birthday today, I wanted to bring up something that I do for my at home, like my personal RP group for campaigns, and that is something where I offer a birthday critical. And how that works is you can float a 20. You could use it on an attack, you could use it on a skill check, or whatever, a death saving throw. And so if it has, I didn't bring it up because I didn't know if it would really be relevant, but as we are, I think, going to be in this for at least a little while longer, at least, I figured I could institute this as it's a house rule, obviously. So if any of you, since you started playing, have had your birthday, you don't have to shout it out, I'll trust you here, then you can have a birthday critical that you can float. Now, you lose your birthday critical if your next birthday comes up, or if we finish the campaign. It's kind of generous terms, but just realize that you only get one.
I think we started the campaign after my birthday.
Possibly then. It was...
Possibly.
If it was after when you started playing, then we'll have to see if it comes full cycle, and it could very well happen. I told myself, well, a short campaign, and meanwhile my track record is like, I don't know, my stories take like a year and a half to tell, so hey, everyone seems to be able to get a shot, and a couple lucky people might even get two over the course of that. So for those of you who have had your birthday since you have started playing, you can float a birthday critical. I will be happy to institute that here.
Tiny dog.
Speaking of birthday criticals, though,
yeah.
Earlier today I was playing D&D at the store, and I rolled a nat 20 for a perception check, and then had the best string of events that happened ever. And I was gonna write it in tabletop tales later, but it was so much fun today.
Oh yeah, please do, because especially on all the days you feel you're like, yeah, I got to do this. That's when I actually I retired your adventure diary. So please write it in tabletop tales. I'd love to hear about it, because your all's games are a lot of fun to follow for the Tuesday, Wednesday. Because I'm not often there when y'all are playing, or if I do, I just kind of dip in. I'm like, hey, this is what's going on, and go from there. So all right, so there's that, and as well, because this is table talk, and this is me stepping up as a DM as well. I do want to say that for last week's session, while I had a grand idea and I was very excited for it and I was eager to present it, I felt like I was rushing you all at the end, and whether or not, I'm not fishing for a yay or a nay or whatever, but my own feeling and my own observation is that I felt like I rushed things at the end, and if that created just kind of a not as much as it could have been enjoyed, maybe that's a generous statement, but if it wasn't as enjoyable there towards the end, then I am sorry, because you know what, I hope to run solid sessions every week, and sometimes a bum session happens, and if last week was a bum session for you all for whatever reason, hey, as your DM, that is my fault or my obligation to address that and to say, you know what, I'm aware of it. I thought about it all week, and I still want to play with you all. And let's hope that this upcoming presentation will, we'll pick up the ball and we'll keep rolling with it.
All right, I'm just going to roll intimidation and speaking on behalf of the group, even if they don't want me to. Okay, Matty. All right, let me stress this as a ST. So
sure,
I'm going to end up saying it right now. Stop worrying about it. Learn from it. Move the heck on.
Yep.
You start stressing about what the hell happened last week, you're going to drive this session into the ground because you're worrying too much about what happened before. You're not worried about what's happening now.
Yep.
So,
correct.
At this point, Macabre Derek, ST of Vampire the Masquerade, and horror guru and overall creepy guy, absolve you of your sins. Okay? They no longer exist. I've taken them. They're in this box right here. You see this box I have in my head? I'm putting them over here. They are no longer a problem. Okay? They not yours. Not yours anymore. Shut up. Move on.
All right. Then very well. As long as we can. So as long as we can consider this water under the bridge, then Mordecai, I need a con save from you. Just kidding. Just kidding. No, that's fine. I just wanted to make the joke.
There's going to be my joke.
I ruined the session already. Misery.
All right, I'm putting that in the box too. Okay.
It's fine. We can all razz each other. It's fine.
Yeah. Keep going, Coffee. I'll put you in the box next. Oh, I'm sorry.
The boo box. Careful, they throw a scorpion in there.
Oh my.
Yep. All right. Well then, as DM, I said my piece, and I'm not going to necessarily. I will not amend the things that had happened, because what ultimately happened is where I wanted things to go. However, I will. After you know what? I am going to go first before I ask you all your in-character's opinions, because I wanted to do this part live and with you all, because as much as we are virtually sitting at a tabletop, if you were at my table, I would be saying these exact same things, looking you all in the eye and being as, sincere and honest as I can. And Derek, this is me moving on.
Now I gotta get the wig off. Okay.
So, this is my address. So, what had occurred for getting you all through the wilderness out to this tree did happen, where this freak blizzard occurred. You're wandering through the woods. There was in fact a logger camp that was found abandoned by Bellum. So prior to Bellum even getting out here. Though Derek, or at least for Jade's reckoning, this is not the same logger camp that was mentioned before. That was on the other side of Greenshield. And so, though this is a big forested area, there are many logger camps. This one, though, is not the one that Bambardalis and his boys went to go investigate. So this is one that was seemingly abandoned. Similar style where, doors were just kind of left open. Looks like things had just stopped. The night was spent, the snow had fallen, and there was an avalanche. And with the events of just sort of that get in the cabin did get pushed by the snow over top the trees, kind of tumbled around, and where you were left off was in view of this clearing where this fleshy tree existed. It is very convenient that this avalanche had happened, and in such a way that it put you, while several hundred feet away, effectively on the doorstop to the needle in the haystack. Or maybe if you're finding a tree in the woods, a needle in a stack of needles. And so here, we're going to get now closer to you all. There are faces in the trees. However, the trees still look like trees. Looking, having crept up a little bit ahead, and what I'll say is we're going to pick up about 150 feet away from this main central tree. It looks like a gnarly old weeping willow, and the weeping willow, kind of the stems with the willowy branches and everything, do in fact look like pink hair, very much akin to Bright's hair, and this is you have not felt any kind of tingle or numbness or evidence that besides this kind of creepy manifestation of whatever's happening. If you're worried about your magics being affected, if it has been, because it hasn't been tested yet, then you haven't felt that. And Mordecai, you haven't fallen like a puppet that had its strings cut or anything.
I hope not.
And what I promised you all, and it is still very much true, is that knowing that you are coming up to this incident, this thing, that you can manifest whatever happens after a long rest right now at this point. And so any sort of choosing of spells, replenishment of resources or preparations or whatever else, you can do before, if you haven't done it already in between the sessions. But that still holds true. Because in the give and take where I was moving things along, I was trying to run this as an interesting skill challenge. That was kind of the take, but the give was when I deposit you here, you would have the ability to select the tools of your choice now that we've zoomed in on the woods. And so that is still true as well. And so where I, as the DM, will leave my narration to you all is this is what's happened. You are in the trees. You've seen a lot of human, some tiefling faces. However, in the central fleshy tree, the faces appear to be those mostly of gnomes. And I think I might have brought that up, and if not, then that's something that I wanted to make sure that I presented to you all. Is that this kind of slow, like, cascade of faces that kind of disappear into the ground, yet more faces just some, like, kind of come down this gnarly old willow trunk, are those kind of small and, you know, cute little chubby cheeks and all the wonderful things that gnomes bring, except now it's a horrible flesh tree. So there we go. And there's a fog too, by the way. It's kind of clinging around because it's very warm. This seems to be like a living thing in the middle of this cold snap, so it's providing some little, like, a light fog bank around. And there were some creatures that were shifting around, which I believe you saw to be these tree creatures, these stick creatures. And Mordecai, you had experienced something like that jumped out at you when you were just entering Greenshield. So with the stage set and the air cleared, with the exception of the atmospheric and perhaps mechanical fog, I want to now kind of let's zoom into you all as characters. You don't have to give anything long if you don't want, because if you want to give a personal spin, that's fine. Or if you just go, yeah, that's fine too, because I know I talked a lot here. So let's begin with Celine. Celine, you had some words with Bellum and such, and we'll just start with you, especially because this is kind of an odd, you're kind of the creep examiner in a way.
I am the inquisitive, yes.
Yes.
and I hope for the sake of everyone else in the group that, as far as everyone else in the group is concerned, I don't have to turn that inquisitive into an inquisitor. Now, on the topic of Bellum, I don't think everyone else is quite as knowledgeable about just the kinds of things that he brings and the things that he worships. As a little PSA, you stay away from Bashaba worship. You stay away from all of them. Bashaba herself is of the belief that bad luck befalls everyone, and the only way to get rid of that bad luck is by worshipping her. It's exploitation. It's extortion. And also sometimes blackmail. So, yeah, no. Bellum is dangerous. Very dangerous. More dangerous than anybody else has given him credit for. And I've kept this in mind. The poor fellow is probably suffering a fate that, you know, that he didn't wish on himself, and I certainly wouldn't wish on him. But that doesn't make him any less dangerous. Now, on the topic of these trees, we need to figure out a plan of attack now that we're here. I mean, my sweet little snowboard montage aside.
Yes, I like that. Fond memories of Final Fantasy VII too, by the way.
Yes, snowboarding mini game down the mountain.
Yes.
She could. I just hope that we've got stuff in our kit to deal with this. I mean, if it doesn't. If it just absorbs instantaneous spells, then maybe the spiritual weapon might be able to take a hack at it. I'll have to try. But that's all I had. That's all I have for. No, that's all I've been thinking for now. Although I mean, poor Bright. Bright has been. Oof. Mordecai, your thoughts on these matters? Question mark?
Hey, there we go. Hey, you're doing my job for me. Mordecai, you're next, I guess.
Well, having grown up in one of the proper religious centers of Mesomasca, it's... I am not unknowledgeable when it comes to some of the religious practices of other people. Black Bess is definitely a strange one. I don't necessarily subscribe to that particular deity myself, but it is something that's kind of superstition based rather than deity based. And for the most part, I don't know if Celine's belief that he's dangerous is necessarily all that huge of a deal if Black Bess is not that big of a deity here in Mesomasca, but I'm not much of a religious person anymore anyway, so what do I know? In regards to this tree, I am not going to approach much closer because of the simple fact that whatever magic, whatever dispelling or countering or what have you it does could unravel the threads that are holding me together. So I don't want to do that. So I'm probably going to be sticking right here. Where
Keep the leech warm.
Oh my god, goody. I have to deal with a cat nuisance now. But, yeah, those are my thoughts.
Whatever will you do?
So my, hang on one second, my Roll20 page is popping up that it is unresponsive, so I'm going to try refreshing it. Hang on one second here. Let's see what occurs. Hopefully nothing disastrous. I say that.
Oh my.
Yeah, here. Let me make sure that I'm still here. I put up the break screen real quick in case I have to take stuff down or put it back up and see what happens. And I should be on wired internet as well, so we will not have any more robo voices or the like.
Wired internet is the best internet.
Alright, I think I might just have to close out and reopen it back up. And uno momento, por favor.
God, this tune from the Shiki soundtrack works so well for this. It's that whole that thing, and it starts to develop operatic, and all I'm thinking is Flesh Tree.
Oh my. Also, the fact that the faces are gnomish is a little unsettling.
Yeah, I think it's a waste of gnome flesh.
See,
I mean,
I've been wanting to play Devil May Cry 5 now, just because of the talk of flesh trees.
Wait, mine's unresponsive too now. Well,
ironically, I actually preferred 4.
4 is
I
decent
was
enough.
unresponsive before. That's why I had to reset my browser.
oh, how weird.
So far, so good for me. I guess it's waiting for my turn.
Yeah, it's some like rolling, some like rolling brownout of connectivity apparently.
Roll 20, why you do this?
Doesn't look
Why
like
would
I
this-
got connected to Matty for some reason.
Matty, we can finally see you.
Oh, you didn't see me before. Oh, I had my camera
I
on and
was.
everything. All right.
I could see him,
Yeah, I
but
can also see you.
Now I can't see Bright or Matty now.
And
See,
I mean,
that's
I
what you
can
wanted me
see
to
the
say.
fluffy. I can see the fluffy here, but I can't see the fluffy on stream.
Oh.
Damn it, stream!
There we go, that's Fluffy.
Oh, yep. I do see.
There we go. There's a fluffy now.
hi, I'm here now.
Just need a Mordecai to show up on stream.
I was
Hey,
disguised
I'm
as a
right
sheep, but now I'm better.
It was me the whole time.
Let me try it.
Yeah, so I'll oh, there we go. There's
There we
buddy.
go.
Hey.
All right.
Roll 20, derps.
Yay. And oh yeah, now I can switch between my tabs and such, which was kind of locked
Cool.
out before, and all's right with the
Little
world. Very
doodads.
good. All right. So anything else that you would like to add then, Mordecai?
Aside from the fact that this tree looks like it's full of gnomes, that's unsettling, but that's weird. If this tree is from Uct, that's weird too.
Yeah, huh. All right then. Who would you like to tag next then? I guess it's only fair if Celine tags you that you get to spread the misery yourself.
I don't know, volunteer.
All right, I see Jade is voluntolding Bright, so Bright gets to be next.
Hey, so, it's been kind of a rough trip, but I'm glad we made it. But the worst part is that we found the tree, and it's not just, I mean, normally I'm happy when we find things and they're pink, but this tree seems to be made of gnomes. And normally finding a tree that's full of gnomes is fine because gnomes live in trees, but this tree doesn't seem to have the usual relationship with gnomes, so I'm not 100% thrilled with it. Hopefully it hasn't eaten the gnomes, but I don't have a really good feeling about things. Kind of what I'm expecting is, since gnomes live in trees, this is the equivalent of the crystals that eat the miners. I mean, it makes sense that the Fae magic would take things over and turn them into the things that reflect their nature. So I think it's probably just a bunch of dead gnomes. So I'm really just hoping that I don't see anyone in the tree that I recognize.
Yeah, that'd be kind of not
So
optimal.
we'll find, we'll find
I'm
out.
trying to use your tactful language.
And also, I don't want to be eaten by the tree. That would be really unfortunate.
Nope.
I'm gonna be extra
Derek,
careful
oh my
with it.
god. That's a joke I thought I would never hear again after 2010 passed. Oh my god. In Soviet Mesomaska, tree lives in Gnome.
We'll see just how close to the truth that could be.
Whoa.
Anything else from you then, Bright?
Oh, I think I'm done.
All right. So now it comes down to Noralai or Jade, and I will go with Jade because you're my eyeballs don't have to travel across the screen as far, and so I'm really lazy.
Totally very told, right?
Yeah, that's true too, right?
All right, if we're going to do that.
Action and reaction.
I can't help but wonder. The stitching. There is none. It's like they were molded together. It's all the curiosity. Fine craftsmanship. That's the truth of it. Though, my gnomes. So many more lives, so little material, and we didn't bring enough to end up making it larger, and I'm kind of attached to the one we have. So I think we won't be adding it to the collection just yet. However, this is something that needs to be done to take the sap from it. The conversation of leeches was earlier discussed. Curiouser and curiouser. Do we even need to engage? It is a tree after all. But there's a reason they call them widowmakers.
Norlai, do you have an answer to that question?
Not hearing it, Norlai.
Is your mic
Norlai's on mute.
This is what I get from my parents.
All right, everyone who has your Roll20 bingo cards out for this session, I think we've already been able to check off a couple different ones. I'll have to make sure to post one of those up every Tuesday just for poops and ha-has.
By the time we reach the break, someone will have bingo.
Okay, so I said no. I didn't have an answer. And well, I was really tired during the journey.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of took a nap, and then when I woke up, that guy was there. And, you know, I didn't know him, and everyone else seemed to know him, and I was like, okay, I guess we know this guy. And then, you know, we went to bed. We found that the weird, it was a logging camp or something. And no one was there. So I went to bed, and in the morning I went outside, and I saw it. I saw the mountain in the snow, and it was all rushing towards me, and I saved everyone. Because I have magic, and it made it so no one would be falling.
Yeah, you do seem to be a lot more confident in the magic that... Is it... Do you see this as like a pool inside of you, or are you a conduit? Like, is it something that just sort of like... do you generate it, or what is your take on this?
I don't know. I just can do magic, and then sometimes I just get too tired to do magic, so I don't do it for the rest of the day.
It's a simple and elegant approach, because that's exactly what's happened so far. I can't really fault you for thinking any differently. All right, then. We then are going to bring you over to a place of faces. Now, this was to show that there was this was to show that there were other faces in the trees. Oh. Things being kind of derpy. All right, there we go. That things were being kind of derpy on my end. Sorry about that. All right, so there's trees that have tiefling human faces that do have bark, but these features, and you know, ears, eyes, noses, mouths, maybe a bit of even kind of like that Han Solo in Carbonite, kind of like a little bit of a hand, like it's pressing from beneath the bark outwards, and beyond about 150 feet away through the fog in this clearing, because the heat given off by this living tree, this tree of flesh, is making things very damp, and it is silent. I mean, save for the breeze that's blowing by, and then you can hear that there's these things in the fog that are walking or skittering through. I do not have a picture of the central tree, and so rather I'm relying on your alls, you as the players and any of you in the audience out there, what just a big gnarly trunked, like a weeping willow would look like if it had these gnome faces just sort of rippling down and then disappearing into the ground. But the faces just don't stop. There's fog clinging around, like partially obscuring. Like, these are the major details that you're seeing, but who knows what minor, what things lie in the fog besides these little shambling creatures and the faces in the bark. It's over to you all. You have hypotheses, you have a quest, you have concerns, optimism, adventure. I don't know. It's up to you to express that.
Okay. Well, I usually supply the optimism, but it's kind of hard right now. So, I think I won't.
Okay.
Plan A. Plan A, I think we should conjure Betty and see if she can get over there.
Yeah. So Betty has a range of 60 feet. And I'm not sure I want to go within 60 feet of the tree right away. I feel a little like Mordecai. I don't want to get eaten by the tree. So I would prefer, and I don't really want to send Peggy Sue either right now, just because Jig, and so she should have some sort of degree of innate resistance to it. And also she has magic resistance, so that's good too. But I just don't feel like I want to walk right up to it.
No.
So if maybe some other people could go a little closer, that would be great. And I know we had our plan from before, which was that we could make the leech invisible, and then Betty could carry it over and just stick it on the tree. And that might still work, but I have to get within 60 feet of it first, and I don't feel safe yet.
What if we just turn you invisible too?
I don't know if we can.
And
Do
the
we-
leeches.
I can turn things invisible.
Oh, then it doesn't have to be me. It could be somebody else.
Jade's hand is just extended like, hand me the leeches.
I don't have the leeches. I think Mordecai has them.
I have them, and
The bloodsuckers handling the bloodsuckers.
A foot-long leech.
maybe
in a jar.
Celine should be the one to go.
Wait, me? Why me?
Because you're the hardest to hit.
Have you tried to strike Celine recently?
No. But she's definitely nimble.
Okay, so while we're all sitting around, I'm going to start casting Detect Magic as a ritual.
Okay.
But I have the leeches out, so. Alright.
You didn't name that foot-long leech, did you?
No.
Okay.
I have no plans on getting attached to it.
I was gonna wait to see if it
Figuratively
does
or
not.
literally.
All right. Are you then waiting for Bright's ritual to manifest before taking action?
If she's detecting magic, probably.
I mean, we don't have to wait, but I don't think anything's happening, so I'm not really in a hurry right now.
Alrighty. As you're spending time here, and waiting for Bright's ritual to complete, the faces in the, I'll call them normal trees, and let's just keep the context of what a normal tree is in this grove. The faces in the normal trees do ever so slightly shift and move. Like their mouths move very slightly. Their eyes, if they have them or one or maybe even a couple, depends, it might look like a knot in the wood. It could be an eye of something. One that when you arrived it was staring, now looks like it might be like right in the middle of a blink, or it's getting sleepy or something, where it seems to be half lidded. but it's taken about 10 minutes for this to occur.
Jade will move closer to one of those trees and try to listen.
Jade, make an Arcana at advantage. 15. All right. Listening, you can almost hear the sap inside the trees. Now you're not getting a but it's just a slow, muffled squelching sound. Something moving through the trees, something slithering through. And you're close to them, and as you're looking around and you're considering what you're seeing and what you've seen before to make the connection, in some way, this is coming across as another kind of maybe time dilation. They seem to be speaking, to be blinking, but they're doing it so slowly. Now, not to this particular effect, but you especially, as the epicenter, have been in such a time, such a place, where things seem to happen instantaneously, in the present and in the future, that all just sort of came together in an instant as well.
Oh my. No, I need you, if you could, what would the term be? That wonderful bit of speed that you grant. Are you still capable of doing that?
Yeah, I can do that.
Would you mind doing so here? And she just kind of leans on the tree, like as if there's nothing wrong with it.
I have to do it on a person, I'm pretty sure.
It is a person. Moving incredibly slowly, but it is a person.
Are you sure we want to do that, Jade?
No, not at all.
Actually, I agree with Jade. I think it's a really good idea. It might be able to bring them closer to our time continuum.
Okay, but I can only do this so many times.
You'll be
It gets me really tired.
You'll be fine. Very famous last words.
All right.
I'm gonna very lightly with one finger touch the tree.
Okay. As you do,
You don't have to touch it. It's got 30-foot range.
Oh yeah. I'm going to point from 30 feet away.
Jade's still leaning on it, like it's a buddy.
roll a d20, please, as you cast this spell.
Yeah. Do I turn into a unicorn? Nope.
Unless you want to forcibly manifest an effect, you are able to, as you release the magic, you're able to kind of just hold back. It's still this thrill, right? It's this magic that it's zooming, through you. It's generated. You're molding. You're forcing magic to do what you're hoping, and you're able to close off the gates and to channel it in the way that you wish. Although, if you ever want to not do that and just take the one, I'll grant you the one.
Yeah, can I roll for wild magic?
That was what the D20 was. That's if it occurred and you couldn't help it, right? Because if you get a 1 on that.
I thought you were suggesting I could just let it happen.
Oh, if you want, you can just let it happen.
Well, you always get the roll on a 1, and look, she rolled 2 1s.
Yeah, this is 2.
Oh, that's true. 11 is 2 1s, huh? If you would instead like to invoke a wild magic effect with this, you may do so.
Just because I wanna see what happens.
Oh no. Oh no.
All right.
Oh no, why?
All right, so Norlai, who is a little bit more confident in her powers, in casting magic and in being a wonderful magical girl coming into her own. Okay, so you may have greased yourself a little. So you cast this haste spell, and as you do,
Could it just be like tree sap appears everywhere?
This
What is a greasy sap?
like the fog manifests into a translucent slime, and it just kind of splorts all around you. And I need you to make a dex save.
Grease, yes.
Oh, this could come in handy if the tree reaches out and grabs you. You can like wiggle around and get loose.
Ooh, all right. I think you beat your own spell save. All right, so you kind of but you catch yourself, and you don't fall. But
that wasn't supposed to happen.
Now Jade, you're kind of just hanging out, leaning up against the tree, and the magic hits, and there is a creaking, a groaning. There is the sound of the fluids quickening their pace. And with a bit of a gurgle, as some sap is also coming to the mouth, the open mouth of this thing, and you're just hearing
Oh, did I keep it? If that's the case, now that it's fast enough, I'd like to cast Detect Thoughts. Yes, I am asking to steal all the knowledge of a tree that has been here probably through most of existence.
Sure. I'm willing to roll with it. I will not even attempt to roll a save. As you reach out, Jade, there is a voice of whoever, whatever this person is or was, but the voice is merely a mask over top the thoughts or the intention. And that is a very familiar thought, a very familiar intention. It is a oneness, an organization. One. Even the psychic connection sounds gurgly. And that, by the way, that's the singular we. We are here.
And Jade's going to use this as a point of communication as she ends up kind of throwing her own thoughts forward along with it. Yes. Yes, we are. And yet,
are not yet blessed by it, you young acolyte.
you know me?
We share
Well, if you know me, then you know I will not stop. Tell me. You know what I seek. You know why I'm here. Yes.
The command that was given, and the manifestation of your reward. And as you're getting these words, the face is taking on a much different look than the words that are being exchanged. The face looks pleading. The face looks, help me. Eyes that are wide. I mean, they're widening more quickly than the course of half a blink over 10 minutes in Bright's ritual here. But this human face has a pleading look on it as the bark is shifting. And yet, remember, the voice is simply the mask to the intention, to the depth of the words.
You will or will not aid. This does not end well if you say no. Consider it a courtesy. And yet I am not of that kind. Not yet. My service is we share a cog, a moment.
Cog, the wheels will turn. All is one. All is one machine. All is one will. One flesh as we manifest.
Then you know my purpose. You are one flesh, I am one with the great wheels, with his will. So, aid me. Keep the spiral turning, the flesh growing. If not, you know what I am. You know me, a thresher. And go ahead.
Take their flesh, or give us theirs. The Fae, the vampires. Now, when Fae is mentioned as the word, it's the word. With your particular attunement, your deep dive into this Gestalt consciousness, this plural singularity, the Fae is much more than sprites. The Fae are the elves, the half-elves, the gnomes, those of Fae heritage, the descendants, and perhaps even those, well, Celine's double dipping, considering she's a half-elf who's also been juiced by a Fae manifestation of Orlan's. Fae is a lot broader than just pixies and other such things.
How much flesh?
The flesh. Oneness. Organization. All must be one.
All are one. All are one. Knowing or unknowing, I am as you all and you single. So, that leaves us with a quandary. I act on his will and keep the wheels turning. And you know that is not to be done yet. If you know his will, if you do not, I will teach it to you. With flint, with fire. I will unleash horrors. Like he promised me. And she shares them. I'm not going to share the vivid since it's a PG-13. Suffice it to say, there are things in there that Jade full well believes she will be a manifestation of. You might remember earlier on her character sheet, there's a particular bit that goes through her head constantly that she's got to keep choked down. And she just allows this to kind of pour out. This is catharsis at this point. All these little things she can't say, she can't express. She's just trying to hide, and she expresses it as this in a certainty. And if that's all right, I would like to roll a intimidation.
You may do so at disadvantage.
Very stubborn tree.
So a 26 or a 23, and I guess we're going with a 23 here.
This is Jade.
Mm-hmm.
This is still really good either way.
Oh. Flesh.
In its time.
No. And for the rest of you, you get this almost like a reverberation through the grove. Now, Jade, you very much, I would imagine you're confident in your ability to talk down a tree. As interesting as with the context, it's more understandable. However, this thing is very resolute. This thing is demanding. It is abstinent. It is a wall. It is the gear. That you're getting this resistance. And when you hear for Mordecai and Celine, I need each of you to make will saving throws, please.
Wisdom saves.
Yep.
Yep.
Good old-fashioned will saving throws.
I have a point of inspiration.
What's that?
I have a point of inspiration. Can I use that to give me advantage?
Sure.
Alright.
I have the same, actually, so I'm going to do the same.
It was a 6, but then it's now a 19.
Oh, thank God.
Oh!
Just want to give Jade an inspiration for some dark fantasy RP. A gift from a fickle god.
Oh, well then. So Jade, you have a fickle god of some kind has given you inspiration to use. I'll leave that at your discretion. All right, Mordecai.
Mm-hmm.
The beautiful smell of sweet blood fills the air. Like flowers on a beautiful summer's day. Maybe even very familiar flowers. It smells beautiful, and it's coming from the direction of the tree. However, This isn't the time or the place. It's too odd. And why is it smelling like it is? Celine.
Now, question, yes. Because this is very important.
Yes.
Is this considered to be a charm effect?
I wouldn't think so, given the fact that this thing tracks Fae. So even if it was, it seems like it's built to do so.
This is, it is acting as a charm effect, although mechanically it is not a charm effect.
So it's a charm effect, but it's not the charmed condition.
Yes.
Okay.
This is an odd kind of, for a moment.
It doesn't change the outcome. It's just that if it is something that would be considered somewhat of a charm effect, I would have advantage on the save versus it, so I wouldn't have to spend the inspiration.
Correct.
That's the only.
No,
that's the only thing.
Your body glows blue for a moment, and it seems to be originating almost from like the veins just underneath your skin, and there's a similar blue glow coming through this fog that the heat from this tree is creating amidst this cold snap coming down from the mountain. And that's a very attractive glow. That's a very attractive glow, my little fly. Perhaps you should investigate that glow. Cautiously if you wish. But there's something over there that you perhaps should start taking
very cautiously.
Wait, is she walking towards the tree?
Slowly, but yes.
Where are you going?
Did she go past me? Because there's grease.
It must be the crystals. The crystals at the base of the tree. Now, Bright, not your charm. We're talking charms. Your ritual does conclude.
I'm probably out of range to use it. Way back, and I think it's only 30 feet or maybe 60.
I believe it's 60.
30.
Give me just a sec.
But I'm definitely further from the tree than that. But I'm definitely watching now that it's completed, and I'm not looking at my book anymore.
Yes.
Definitely curious to see what everyone's doing. And if there's anything I can see within 30 feet of me.
The trees with the faces, the possible hands, the eyes, the noses. None of them are glowing magical, save for the one that Norlai had quickened. The trees seem to be trees. But these ain't no trees you're familiar with.
Yeah. Okay. So how far am I from the main tree right now?
About 150 feet away.
Okay. I'd like to go to within about 100 feet of it.
Okay. So you start creeping up. Celine's walking in that direction at a measured pace. You don't need to run willy-nilly, Celine. You have your faculties. This is a mystery to investigate. You're the type who sketches a demon's anatomy when it appears instead of running away.
And how far away is
I'm keeping
Celine?
an eye on both of them. I am not taking them out of my sight.
Yeah. So how far is Celine?
Celine could be, if you're moving to 100 feet, then Celine's. We could put Celine next to you if you want to walk beside her.
Okay. So I want to stay behind Celine.
Okay.
I'm assuming the conversation is still going between Jade and this old tree.
Yes.
All right. Very well. If it must be done, then I will go and take what is mine as you take what is yours. Starts walking towards the tree. Just going to take it.
Okay. As you walk, there's like a gurgle and a bubble of sap. Just like a brownish red sap bubble kind of comes out of the mouth, and it drips down the equivalent of the chin, and it pops very gooey, very messy. And as it does, you are getting the sound of the voice that you've been speaking to. However, you're not getting the will that was wearing it as a mask. You are getting perhaps the intention, the expression that matched the face, or really many of the faces in the trees. And all you get is a single syllable in common that almost belches out with this viscous sap bubble oozing from the tree. Don't!
Now, Jade is measured and observant. Clearly she is the most wise and cunning and very clear-cut individual. So she will simply end up taking the sampling of the sap that was required. And I believe we also have a gem to take.
Crystals from around the roots.
Crystals. So she proceeds to do so, and there's only crystals on the flesh-based one, the one that's built out. No, not the other ones, correct?
You are not seeing crystals at the base of these normal trees. In fact, you're not even seeing crystals because of this cloying mist in the grove. However, Celine seems to think that they're there, and that's probably what caused the blue flash.
Well,
Is someone just not gonna stop me?
Nope. Deal's a deal.
No. I said someone, not necessarily Jade, just someone.
I don't think I realized that Selena's been charmed yet. I think she's just
You were
being
probably
curious.
studious and conducting a ritual while...
I'm not going to stop it. I really can't.
Matty, would I have been aware that some kind of other influence was trying to impress upon me?
All you get is this instinctual hint of blood in the air. I mean, you've done your fair share of tracking by now. And it seems to be coming from the tree in the middle of the grove. You can smell it on the wind. This is...
As if it's tempting me.
Well, there's a temptation as there's a smell of blood in the air, yes. Is it, I mean, how many times have you sniffed a tree's blood? But there's a...
Is that an out-of-character question?
Yeah. Wait, what? Oh, gotcha. But there's a sanguine scent in the air, and your hunting instincts are pointing towards the tree in the middle of the grove.
Something smells like blood.
And it's interesting because it not only smells like blood, it's like you're tasting through your nose. Like it is a warm apple pie in a windowsill as you were singing on a nice day, and just you smell it, and it would have caused your saliva glands to just go nuts, where you're getting this taste and scent at the same time. This is good blood. This is powerful blood.
I don't like this. Celine?
She kind of, I'm guessing that's kind of just off in the background as she takes another step towards the tree.
Your instinct to go towards this flash, this mystery, this, it's playing into your personality. This is the type of person you are. You're the Lady of Death. You're the person who will stand before a demon and take notes. What's a tree? You have a quest to do as well.
The tree smells like blood.
By the way, to the rest of you, no, it doesn't.
I don't smell any blood.
No, I don't either.
Celine, what do you smell?
I don't smell blood.
It's
She
just
takes
that
another
blue
step.
light. There's a blue light in the fog, Celine. You gotta go towards it.
There's a light over here, and I need to go towards it.
Hey, don't go into the light. That's what they always say.
You should know this is a cleric with a jazz.
It's usually the death clerics announcing that.
How far away is she from me?
She's been traveling rather like this is at a cautious pace. She's advancing, so I don't know. She could be. We'll round it and say 30 feet. It's a good number that a lot of us could use.
I'm going to attempt to use counter charm.
Okay, I have things to do too, but I'll let you do that. That's probably way better than what I was gonna do.
Counter charm. It's anyone within 30 feet has advantage of saving throws against being charmed or threatened. So it doesn't actively do anything unless I'm allowed to make another saving throw.
I'll tell you what.
Would you allow it, considering he's trying to snap me out of it by using that?
I will give a no but or a yes and. It'll be kind of 6 to 1, half dozen to the other here.
Okay.
The counter charm is not going to have an immediate effect. So you begin. What are you doing? Are you playing an instrument? Are you singing a song? Are you channeling?
I'm purposefully playing badly, and I don't do that.
Okay, so it's discordant. It's like you're hitting all the wrong you're hitting the wrong notes to a familiar song, and it's just sort of like, all right.
Just to try and distract the person who's obviously not paying attention to me.
Okay, you are doing. You do this. I am noting it, and if it then becomes, if a circumstance occurs where your actions in this narrative-ish environment are relevant, then I will apply those. There's just not an immediate mechanical effect to it.
So,
go ahead. I'm sorry, Bray.
I would like to use Minor Illusion to conjure up a really bright blue light that's right next to Celine. And then I'll say, Celine, there's a blue light right here. You don't have to go all the way over there. And I'll see if I'm in range, because I don't even know if Minor Illusion's even going to work. Countered.
Okay.
See? Because it's not concentration. We'll see what it does.
Celine, there is a blue light that's next to you, but we're talking like this is not a satisfying blue. This is garish. It's not like that blue light that's ahead. It almost has like a heartbeat to it. It has a stirring of power. The blue light next to you is just almost an offensive recreation of this beautiful, almost undescribable shade of blue ahead of you.
She kind of just disregards the fact that there was a bright light next to her. It's like, that's not the light. That's the light, and she points in the direction of where the blue light is coming from.
A tree. So I'm gonna conjure up Peggy Sue. I'm really sorry I have to do this with you right now, but I really need you to go and flap around and irritate Celine as much as you can, and try to dodge her in case she hits you, because she might.
Okay. Norlai, as this is happening, are you doing anything in particular? Are you staying behind? Do you want to try and creep up next to someone, or?
I'll probably just kind of stick with Mordecai for now.
Okay. So then Mordecai is So if Celine and Bright were 100 feet away, Mordecai was 30. So you've edged up a little bit here with Mordecai, and you are each then 120 feet away from the tree.
Mordecai, I think you need to tune that. It doesn't sound...
Doing it on purpose.
Oh,
okay. So this confusion that Peggy Sue is attempting to inflict.
Peggy Sue is kind of flitting around, and just hey, listen, hey, listen, hey.
Duh. I am now having Ocarina of Time PTSD flashbacks. Thank you.
Yeah, really, watch out.
Celine stops and kind of just looks and tracks Peggy Sue as she flitters around.
Celine, this is an annoyance. This thing is trying to keep you from going to that light. It's upsetting. I don't know if you're angry, but
No, not angry.
It's not getting the hint if you keep going like this. Shoo.
Yeah.
And then
someone just cast a spell at me.
Jade, you are. What are you doing here now? Are you hanging back by the tree, or are you advancing towards the central?
Oh, Jade has collected the sample and is currently checking the roots to try and find these.
It's like, I think the crystals are over here, Jade.
I don't think.
All right, Celine continues to advance. Peggy Sue, the familiar of Bright, is flitting about. There's that beautiful, beautiful blue. As you get closer, it's getting brighter. And Celine, just your elven eyes, this heritage that you've received, it seems to be simultaneously playing to your normal vision, and also your dark. It's almost like what we might call like an ultraviolet kind of luster, a gleam. It's colors that seem familiar but don't exist. It's beautiful, and this stirring in your blood is just you feel riled. So Celine advances ever closer, and we're gonna say that Celine's about 50 feet away from the tree now, as she continues to walk and kind of swat at Peggy Sue like an annoying little gadfly trying to interfere.
Hey, so up next, hey Celine, how many clerics does it take to change a light bulb? Just one, because they're efficient and have no sense of humor.
What's a light?
Yeah, I will make a wisdom save.
Yeah, playing right into your strengths.
Oh boy.
Bright, do you happen to end up having...
Oh, I get the natural 20 now, do I?
Whoa.
That's what happens.
So a
Roll
26
20.
wisdom save.
That's what I get for telling a joke about a light bulb.
To be fair, Sean Neroth ended up saying this was the deal.
Celine, you notice Bright, she's there. She tried to tell a joke and just, not now.
Wasn't very funny. Very funny. Not now.
Not now.
I'm busy.
You gaze back towards the tree. Bright's like, trying.
Hey.
Someone should shoot me with something.
Oh, don't worry.
I don't have anything to shoot you with.
That being said... Yeah? Is this true?
You'd be prompted, though. I wouldn't.
That being said, do I find any of those crystals in the base of this tree?
You do not.
Okay, now we start going to the center of the tree.
All right.
And I am a bit more of a hurried pace. And not for worry of Celine, right? Of course not. Jade is walking towards the tree like she's come to collect She's looking around and starts heading up to the tree. And
As you pass, I just say, "Be careful."
the deal has already been struck. She moves on.
Oops.
Yes, that shouldn't be concerning to Mordecai.
So Mordecai,
Concerning
are you moving up or are you staying behind?
Who?
Oh, hello.
Sorry, just something quick I had to do with.
Oh, okay.
Who did you say?
Mordecai, are you moving up with Celine or are you staying behind?
I'm staying behind, but I don't like how close she's getting to that, and she's not paying attention to anyone, so I'm going to shoot her with my short bow.
Okay. Go ahead and do
dang.
I hope I can hit.
Oh yeah, no, that hits.
That
That
hits.
hits.
I thought you had a higher armor class than that.
No, I have AC 18 with a shield, but I don't even have the shield out right now.
Oh, maybe you shouldn't have shot her so hard.
I didn't try.
so. All right.
Just say
Celine,
non-lethal damage.
Celine, there's an inconvenience that has transfixed your calf. And you look down and there's a crossbow bolt just right through the meat.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Short
arrow
bow,
to
arrow,
the
Oh, I'm
leg.
sorry, short bow,
arrow to the
not
leg.
crossbow.
Would I make another wisdom save because I've taken damage? And I've just had this flux of pain.
Hey, over here.
So what I'm going to do is there's going to be another event that is occurring, and now I need Celine. You can make your save normally.
Yep.
Mordecai, Bright, and Jade can make your wisdom save with advantage. And Norlai does not need to make a save at all.
Okay.
14.
Oh god, the dice are scaring me.
I
right
will
now.
use inspiration this time to gain advantage.
17.
So that'll be a 16 on my part, not a 13.
All right. So Celine, that beautiful that beautiful blue light ahead of you is glowing and is looking really, really good. It's you can now see like this beautiful like crystalline form glowing through the fog. And in fact, there are even these creatures that are just sort of like moving aside and giving you a clear path to it. Mordecai, once more, that smell of blood in the air, that's sweet. You've not had blood like this, and your body gives a bit of a shiver, an uncontrolled shiver for a second. But you are in control of your faculties. Bright, you now kind of... You know, I do kind of... Something smells really yummy. And Jade? Oh, it smells yummy, all right. That tree that you had your sights set on, that sap looks a lot like something really yummy. Something that you can't even drink it. You have to eat it like a meal, even though it just sort of like slowly pours down your throat. And you just have to go and taste this flesh tree filled with, and you feel just this quiver through your body that you've slightly experienced before.
We're gonna die.
It's a familiar feeling.
We're gonna get eaten by flesh trees.
But there's definitely a stirring within you.
Is this the same feeling when I end up drinking the troll's blood?
Yes. A shiver of power, of life.
And to be clear, Jade now feels an uncontrollable impulse to do so.
I will tell you that you have a measured advance, and how you wish to take it, then that's fine.
Jade wants it.
Okay.
Biologically.
Yes.
much like a person of dehydration wants water. But she knows to do so is to break the pact.
Ooh,
To break the
conflict.
pact. She can't let him down like that. Is then he'll end up here. That's how this works. That was the deal. That was the deal. Come on, go on it. I can't have anything. I start advancing to the tree very, very quickly. Give it
Jade?
to me. Give it to me. And she just starts bolting towards the tree.
Okay. Norlai. Mordecai's holding out. You're just like everyone is. Oh, not everyone, but this is getting really weird around you real quick.
You're what?
Everyone except Mordecai is starting to act weird.
Okay. How is Jade acting weird?
You're always acting weird.
So, again, how is Jade acting weird? How has this changed?
Oh, so then the minimum threshold is it's always 1 out of 5, but now it's more than that.
Yeah.
That's going to be the game. Jade's going to be the only sane one, and everyone's lost their minds.
Actually, you know what? I could see that coming, and it would probably be very, very ironic.
So Norlai, Celine is inconvenienced by a short bow arrow through the calf muscle. Jade has just started taking off at a rip towards the tree. I mean, Bright is bright. I don't know. She's not like, well, outwardly anyway. She's not necessarily.
Yet.
Mordecai, should we stop them?
I can't get close. I have nothing. I don't know what to do.
So, hold on.
I'm gonna slow
Give it to me.
Celine and Jade and if Bright gets close.
But the 40-foot cube, so you'll catch everyone.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I can choose up to 6, so I'm choosing.
okay. You need a save.
As this is narrative, I'll let you sculpt this how you'd like, Norlai. If you wanted to just hit Jade, that's fine. If you want to, I don't know, fidget it so you're hitting Celine as well.
Well, I can choose up to 6 creatures, so I can hit both.
Okay.
You could hit everyone. Like, it's a 40-foot cube. That's massive. 40-foot cube within 120 feet.
Yeah.
That is one, yeah.
So
announce
Celine
your
and Jade,
targets.
and is Bright walking forward or no?
Bright, were you keeping up with Celine?
No, I was behind Celine because I sent Peggy Sue after her, and I wanted to stay behind. So I'm not
Alright, just
up to Celine yet.
Bright's not acting like she needs to go to. So just Celine.
Okay.
Then.
So then you need Jade and Celine to give a save.
What kind of save?
Also, Norlai, I need you to roll a d20 unless you want to invoke
Wisdom.
chaos again.
It is a wisdom save, it looks like.
Wisdom save.
Number 14.
Yeah, wisdom save.
Give it to me. Give it to me.
I fail.
Sure,
Wow.
now you fail.
Give it to me. Give it to me.
Now I fail.
So, crit on the one and crit on the other, just in 2 different directions. And Jade with a 9 isn't going to save. Although Norlai, you either need to roll the d20 to see if a little bit of chaos slips through, or if you want to purposely manifest it, you could just roll a d100.
I think I'll keep it like this.
Okay. So you close the door just in time as that magic slips out just enough that you needed it to work. And now we have Celine and Jade. This magic is, you feel like you're just everything is slowed. And Celine, now that you're closer, unless I skipped over anyone else who hasn't kind of done anything in this narrative round, Celine, go ahead.
So, question. Am I stopped from doing anything? I know, like...
You're slowed.
Your speed is halved.
Yeah, no, aside the slow, like, does the effect of the other thing actually stop me from doing anything?
No. You're still hoping to, investigate this crystal. This glow.
Okay. So... Alright, well then what I'm gonna do is I can spend an action or a bonus action on, and not both. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna spend my action. And I am going to cast...
Special stuff for casting.
Beacon of Hope. Who's within 30 feet of me?
Probably Jade.
You need to roll a d20 though.
I do need to roll a d20, yes.
I mean, I might be within 30 feet, or I might not. I don't know.
It goes off now. It's on an 11 or higher, it goes off on the next turn, and I have to spend my action to use it that turn.
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah, so it goes off now. Who is within 30 feet of me?
I mean, I don't know.
Jade, you probably would be bright. Because I've been walking slowly, so I haven't walked that far.
Okay, I'll take the effect.
Mordecai would also be within range, I'm sure.
I'm way behind. I'm 120 feet away from the tree.
Mordecai is keeping distance.
Yeah, me and...
Oh, he's here. Oh, yeah, so you're keeping distance, so it's just Jade and Bright.
Yeah, I'm not following.
It's just Jade and Bright. Noralai, how far are you away? Are you just over with Mordecai? Okay. So it'll just be myself, Bright, and Jade. So we each now have advantage on wisdom saves and death saves, and we regain the maximum number of hit points possible from any healing that we might receive. As Celine kind of just stops and slowly does the hand motions to give this blessing. Because even though she's not technically in control of her own faculties, she can realize that there is a little something going on here, and we need a little bit of divine assistance, you know what I'm saying?
It would seem that a higher power has listened, as the tree ahead of you, growing ever larger as you come ever closer to it. Mouths open, all of them, and in 100 voices, 200 voices, some of them speaking by inhaling to provide wind to pass through the meat on the other half of the tree, which are saying words in many languages. Most of it is in Gnomish, though there are faces and languages that are, even with a Gnomish accent, spoken in Common and what would be not abyssal,
Infernal?
Yeah, infernal, elven as well.
I know it. I know Common, I know Elvish. I don't know Infernal. I know Abyssal, but I don't know Infernal, and I don't know Gnomish. I'll have to learn some more languages. Become the language queen of the game, too.
All at once. Welcome home. Welcome, 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 welcome home, 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 home. And a breeze gushes from the tree, parting any of the fog, and the mouths, welcome home, welcome home, welcome home, welcome home, welcome, welcome home, as they're inhaling and exhaling. And at the base of the tree, there is in fact a beautiful cluster of this cobalt blue. Now, to all of you but Celine, it's a crystal cluster. You're not seeing what Celine sees the light. There's something about it glows. It's otherworldly. But there is, in fact, a big old, beautiful, like cobalt blue crystal cluster there. And at the base of the tree, since the fog has sort of been blown away by the myriad faces and the myriad languages, there are all manner of things. There's hats, there's pieces of armor, a shield, there's a pike, some hatchets, empty suits of clothing, of armor, probably even, backpacks. It's all just sitting there. And in fact, some of that, yeah, you've seen that before. Some of the clothing looks like old Shadowheart Empire colors. You've seen these patterns before. You've seen people wear these clothes. But now the clothes are just sitting at the base of the tree.
Home. Yes, home. Home.
The way is clear before you all. Mordecai, even from this distance, you can see a crystal cluster. You can see the faces. You can hear the faces inhaling and exhaling. You can see the piles of stuff, loot. In fact, there's probably even a couple money pouches just spilled on the ground at the base of the tree, glistening wetly.
I just gotta hope that someone can break me out of this before I'm consumed by the tree and I'm dead.
Yeah. So, can I hear the voices, or is that just for Celine?
All of you can.
Okay.
All of
so
you.
I can hear the Gnomish too.
Yeah, and with the specific Uct dialect, even the majority of the Gnomish voices.
Okay. That's really unsettling. I really don't like that. So Celine is entirely too close to the tree for me, and I know that Jade is looking like she might do something with the tree. That's really not awesome, and there's just too many targets here, so I'm going to have to throw a Hail Mary, and I'm going to try to banish the tree. And if the spell is possible, the tree is also going to roll a 2.
Okay. You cast the spell upon the tree, and you've cast this spell before. You know how it should manifest. It's written in your book. You've studied this spell. You've even employed it. And Bright, for a moment, there's that beautiful spark of magic, just as that light manifests out of nothing, and it gets ready for that beautiful banishment, almost like a, well, I don't know. If you wanna flavor it, you may. I almost see it as almost like a flash, like a teleporter, almost from Star Trek. Kind of a little bit of a glitter and a poof, and then it's gone. You all see this spark, and suddenly the magic disappears. Right?
Crap.
You're in position. You know that you have used your gift or curse, or however you want to view it. You've used it, and for that moment, you see it reflected in whatever your concept of your magic is, and how you bend it. You use your will, and your will isn't strong enough. It happened. It had to. Your spell was there one moment, and in the very next, it wasn't. Like it never existed.
Oof.
Shit.
Yeah, I figured that was going to be the case. Is that I am 90% sure that this tree is going to consume me and I'm going to die.
Well, that's unfortunate.
It won't consume. Have faith, cleric. Have faith.
That's funny.
Oh, I'm not being funny.
Oh, I know.
Trust in the mad woman's plan.
What are you doing, Jade?
The fact that you don't know is the fantastic and terrifying part.
I don't like when you don't tell us what you're doing!
Well, I hope she does it soon because I'm running out of options.
Jade is full on board to the tree. She's probably gonna pass. She passes Celine, that's for sure. Celine's all this cautious, like, I want to see, but I gotta be careful. I gotta see, but I want to be careful. Jade is like, I'm home.
Bright, I'll tell you what. Give me an Arcana roll as a writer on this spell. Oof.
Oh, natural
Look at that
20.
27 Arcana.
Oh, that's good. It might be the last roll I ever make. We'll find out.
Bright got a natural 20 on an Arcana roll.
I taste knowledge.
Your mind is the light, in your bright eyes, the light of hope shone for the briefest moment and dimmed. In your mind sparks the thoughts, ideas, all of your studies. I have to do something. I've studied. I have to be logical about this. I have to use logic. I have to make sense.
Probably in my bag.
I have to make sense.
Somewhere?
Didn't Jade say something about oneness, about everything being one, everything reducing to one? It is logical. It's a singularity. And sometimes in magic school, like repels like. Sometimes the undead resist necrotic effects. Sometimes the holy ignore, or the celestial ignore divine manifestations of magic. And someone else can take a turn as Bright's contemplating. Her eyes are wide again, or rolling around, or something.
I know what Jade's gonna do, so I'm gonna give everybody else a shot.
Yeah, go ahead.
Mordecai,
right.
do you want to try and do anything? Lorelei?
I don't know what to do. Fuck me.
I don't
Yeah.
really do it, but I could try to act them out.
Yeah.
How would you like to do so?
I'm gonna get a little close. I'm gonna wait for Jade to line up with Celine. And go. That's for me.
Ooh.
And we take a neg 2 to dex saves because of the floor.
Yes. All right, so yeah, you can easily line this up. Now, I do need you to roll a d20 unless you're also unleashing chaos into this. Oh, so Jade's Jade's not saving on a 7.
I am most definitely not saving.
You are not saving on a
Oh, you took my
one. That's just a 1. Because I have a +2 index, so it's a 0.
Norlai, you open the door, let a little magic slip through, and close it just in time, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. All right then. Jade and Celine are going to be taking. Jade and Celine are going to be taking what, 28 lightning damage.
Yeah, unfortunately, my roll isn't that good for damage.
I'm still up.
Jade's still up.
Let's not knock them down.
Electrified.
Also, if there's anything flammable in the area.
Oh, why'd you have to go and do that?
I don't think flesh is flammable.
The fog has kept everything moistened enough that
I wasn't even thinking
that
those.
nothing is catching on fire. However, Norlai, with your streak to try and catch both the people who are walking towards the tree, Your 100-foot lightning line slams into the tree of faces, and 100 voices scream, inhaling, exhaling, with swears and oaths in every language simultaneously, as a couple of the faces are left twitching in the side of the thing before resuming the ripples down. The ripples down. And you, by the way, you're called all kinds of very mean names.
I didn't mean to hate you guys. You don't have to be so mean about it.
Why am I suddenly reminded of a fireball incident near a throne?
So I'm at 9 hit points now.
I am at 18.
I can do one more.
I can get over here for a cure wounds if you want to live.
No. I have an idea.
Going towards you is not an option for them.
How far am I away from the tree?
You were 50 feet away.
50 feet.
Guess that makes you 50 feet.
How close to the clothes?
They're at the base of the tree.
Because I mean, I could attempt to knock myself out.
Why would you do that?
Yeah, that's a beautiful light you're trying to discover.
It is a very beautiful light that doesn't remove the. It is a very beautiful light, but it doesn't remove the sense of discomfort that is generally present.
I can just knock you guys out for you.
Becoming a little bit of a passenger in your own body, huh?
Yeah, and she doesn't like that at all.
So what was Jade doing? I know Derek wanted things.
I don't know. I'm giving everybody their opportunities beforehand.
Hey.
Selena's probably just gonna take another step and, I suppose, attempt to stop herself from moving any closer.
Well, did you break slow, or is that at the end of this turn that you get to do that?
It's at the end of the turn that they get to break slow.
All right. So, I mean, you'll advance a little bit further. Still, there's something about it. You could definitely drag your feet. I'll say that you're 40 feet away from it now.
Okay.
You're trying, and I don't know if you're saying or doing anything in particular, but that light off the crystal is only bigger and brighter and more beautiful and wholly alien than anything that you have ever seen or read about. This is a blue that exists, but it shouldn't. How can you see something that sheds no light? It's horrid and beautiful.
I'm just trying to stop myself from being consumed by a tree.
Okay. So, I have Beck, and I know Matty. I had a thought about sun and all those things, but it's not really what Bright's thinking about right now. Instead, I'm thinking back to the dream that I had when we revisited it.
Okay.
And I know that none of the other people have seen it, but Bright is inspired a little bit by Norlai, and she's thinking back to the only way she could protect people around her was to self-destruct. And that to within range, Celine.
It sounds like it cut out a little bit.
Oh, I'm going up within range of Jade and Celine, and seeing if I can get all of us in the blast radius, and maybe also the tree if possible, but mostly Jade and Celine.
She's fireball centered on.
Jade, even with that slow negative on a 21 modified to a 19 critical dex save.
The dog, stop wiggling.
I'm down.
Celine is caught inside Bright's signature fireball.
And
Non-lethal.
I don't think you can make.
As a DM, I personally, if you can explain how you do it, I am fine granting non-lethal spell damage, arrows, swords. It doesn't just have to be, punchy or whatever. So if you can explain how you would deal non-lethal damage with a fireball, I will meet you halfway.
No, I can't explain that. So, I'm just gonna.
You can always catch me with the edge and the fall knocks me out.
No, I'm not willing to take that risk. You and Jade are both in the blast, and also so am I. And I'm gonna voluntarily fail my save.
Okay.
Down. I'm still up.
Okay.
Well then I will death save.
Seeing that,
advantage, but I will death save.
How far are they away from me?
If you stayed back, you were around 120, and Celine is 40, so they're 80. So Celine is 80 feet away. Jade is probably
less than 30 feet away at this point.
Because she was slowed, but she's given in, and is trying to run with all due haste.
Oh, you think she's given in?
Well,
that's fantastic.
Yeah, I'm being optimistic.
Stop kicking your tail.
So, first there was the lightning bolt, and Celine and Jade together had this wonderful electric boogaloo situation. They were just
electric boogaloo.
Together they decide to ride the lightning. And
I will pay that Metallica reference, Derek.
And as they end up continuing.
Wait a second.
Wait, is Narla gonna do something?
No,
I'm not allowed.
Or is there something going in?
Oh, hold on, no, I was checking flow for Jade.
Oh, okay.
It's a -2. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was this, and I was like, wait a sec.
Yeah. So Jade continues on, and this engulfing of fire happens. I imagine this is probably bright. There's a huge flash, smoldering ash on the ground. Celine has this bit of char on her, and I'm picturing her kind of falling to her knees, almost in a sitting position, like her pride won't allow her to fall, but she has to give to the knees, so there's just kind of this poof before she goes to her side finally. And Jade looks like she may have done something similar, and yet her body, almost like a puppet, starts to move. Like her joints aren't moving the way it should, and almost like her body just is continuing to move on its own. Starts to crawl, covered in ash, burn marks, 3rd-degree burns. The bits of her clothing torn asunder by lightning and fire. As smoke continues to billow off of her, she starts to climb off of her knee and continues to go towards the tree. This grin a mile wide, this horrible grin with part of her lip is missing up to the side of her face, matching the scar on the other side. As she starts to 1 step, pain, 2 steps, pain, and smiling the whole way through. Give it to me.
I wanna do something. I need to do something.
All right.
I'm gonna let this play out.
I'm gonna move it within 20 feet, like 20 feet ahead. And I'm going to cast Healing Word.
Okay.
On Celine, if she's 60 feet from me.
Okay.
And I'm going to start playing the counter charm again.
Okay.
I'm going to do that at level 1. Because this... No. Mm-mm.
and someone just needs a neck out.
All right. So, Mordecai is granting 6 points of healing to Celine. Celine, what this is going to be doing is... All right, to fulfill a particular fickle god's request, the 6 points of healing does in fact bring you to consciousness, and all of the aches and pains and everything that comes along with it. Your body glows with this, with like a purple light. And you are on your feet. So I'm giving you kind of a free kip up here. You're on your feet. You hurt. I mean, you're conscious again, and you know you've already been knocked out. You've been injured. You know, you're now more acutely aware of the fact that you just had an arrow through your leg. But that kind of haze has cleared as you are on your feet again. And you are... The pain... You can see the crystals, but the crystals don't have as powerful a glow. It's very faint right now. It's still there. It is an objective. It is something... it's something. But right now you hurt, and the fog has cleared. Bright's fireball, as it impacted, burnt away, pushing or just evaporating. And all around this glade now, you can see dozens of these wicker people, of these plant humanoid-shaped things. And some of them still have vestiges of skin and organs clinging. A lot of them don't. And you are finding that they are coming in all shapes and sizes. Tall ones, short ones, ones that might have been men or women, boys, girls.
Well, I'm not at the slow anymore, which is a nice effect too.
They're all around you on the grove, watching amid the trees with faces. Okay. Celine,
okay.
we'll also say that in the face of this fireball, you saw a familiar face as it manifested, like as you just kind of looked at this growing flash of fire. There was a woman's face in it as it passed over you.
And as I move closer, is there anything that happens to me, or am I fine?
I'm actually from everyone except Noralai. I'm gonna need I will need another wisdom. However, Mordecai, because you are you're doing this here, I will offer advantage to Bright and to you, Mordecai, and Celine and Jade. You can make one straight up.
Wisdom?
Is
Wisdom
still active?
Is what?
No, it would have went down as she went down.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh, thank God! Finally!
Jade,
A
you're
good
so
wisdom
close to
save!
that sweet, sweet honey pot. It's right in front of you.
Yep.
Someone
I did
just
the
like
bottom.
firebolt Jade.
I was thinking about spending it, but I decided not to because I'm saving it for the action.
All right, Mordecai, the smell of blood is strong in the air, but you're still fighting it. But oh, if your teeth don't ache, and oh, if you don't, your tail is just, I don't know, twitching, or I'm sure you have some.
Probably twitching pretty anxiously, actually, because all of my friends just got blown up in a fireball, and I'm just like, what the hell? What's going on?
And then when Celine's back, I'll narrate, and then for Bright, you can smell that smell. Apparently there must have been a gnomish bard that made a song about that. Ooh, that smell, the smell that surrounds you. And but yeah, it smells sweet, like a beautiful summer strawberry, just ooey gooey, juicy. You can almost feel it just kind of like drip down your lips and nom, nom, nom. However, you are within your faculties. There is just this ooey gooey temptation, this gushing source of jam and jelly that lies ahead of you.
Okay.
Oh, Celine's back. So if you can hear me, you have the blue light has diminished. You're still very close. The crystal is also still there, but the light has been all but suppressed in your eyes. So Celine, if you want to take a particular movement, I will not advance you unless you wish to willingly advance yourself.
No, she's not going to advance. Now that Celine has been knocked down and gotten back up, and the light is not so bright, and she kind of has a little bit of more semblance of herself again, she this feeling kind of overwhelms her. And it's something very uncharacteristic of Celine. And she seems to give off this necrotic energy as she lets out this scream, but it's not really a scream, it's more of a roar in just pure rage. Something very similar to what Bright, Mordecai, and Jade, and maybe Norelei if she was around, might have heard from Tazray at one point.
Mm-hmm.
And she is going to turn back towards the tree. And she is going to cast Spirit Guardians. Don't worry about the damage. She's gonna designate everyone, all of the friends in the area to not be attacked. Now, really, they only did an attack card for it? No spell. So basically, what happens is she's summoning her angels of death in a fit of rage around her in a 15-foot radius around her.
Okay.
Instead of appearing angelic with the sides. She's gonna. It's very obvious that she is very much not happy. Luckily, there isn't a tree within 15 feet, or otherwise we'd have to be making a wisdom save. But no, she kind of just is now looking at this tree with a look of pure, unadulterated rage, spitting obscenities in Elvish that I am not going to repeat because of the PG-13 rating we have here on stream. But it would be to the point where anyone who understands Elvish, and she'll even repeat them in common, it will be shocking to hear these words come out of her mouth.
Celine, we're allowed one. You're allowed to use it. By all means.
technically we are allowed one per stream, but this would be a lot more than one per stream. Like it would be to the point of it would be to the point that if you were to censor it, it would just be one very, very long beep.
I think in a reference that sums it up best, it is the... I'm trying to remember the character's name from, it was the second Matrix movie, the Mangalarian or something like that? Mangalorian. And he said, cussing in French is like wiping your ass with silk. And so I imagine that in Elvish it is similar.
No, Mandalorian's from Star Wars.
Yeah, I know which character you're talking about.
Merovingian.
The Merovingian.
Yeah, Merovingian. Yeah, Merovingian.
Yes, cussing in French is like wiping your
ass.
Cussing
in French like wiping your ass with silk. Yeah. No, Celine is just letting it spill out in a very violent display. Now, I can't do any of those.
Anything else?
And I can't. Normally I'd cast spiritual weapon, but bonus action I've already cast a spell at first level or higher this turn, so no, she's not moving. She's just going to do that and look at this tree with a 100% death glare.
Okay.
It is a glare of death.
Who else would like to do something then?
Okay. I'm here. I mean, now that I've kind of regained my faculties, I'm the only one. But I'm thinking about the mission and the whole reason we came here. So I'm going to take that spade that I got from Raphael's. I'm going to toss it up toward the crystals, which I assume I can see.
Yes.
And then I'm going to go ahead and conjure up Betty.
Ooh.
And that's not a ritual. That's just actually casting it.
Okay.
And I'm going to say, Betty, would you kindly dig up those crystals and then bring them back real quick? I know it's weird, and we don't have time to chat, so please just get to work, and I promise we'll catch up later. Thank you.
All right. So you summon her ahead of you, correct? Or at
right at the tree, because it's 60 feet range.
Yes. Okay.
Range.
Betty picks up the spade per your command. I mean, for the rest of you, it's an unseen servant. So the spade just sort of floats up and strikes at the crystal, and you do see a bit of like an ice break, a cracking effect at the It's not like sending chunks flying. Your unseen servant isn't a hulking miner or the like, but
she's not very strong.
It did at least put a crack in there, and on that kind of resonant ding, for a brief moment, all of you can see this unseen servant, almost like a silhouette. For just the briefest of moments, bright, she looks at you, and the eyes on this, whatever your magic theory is telling you here, her eyes though look at you with a bit of a curiosity, like she sees you too, and then they go wide as the tool drops.
Okay.
That's unfortunate. Okay. Well, that was the next thing I wanted to do.
Learning every step of the way. Who's next?
Who hasn't gone yet other than me?
Noralai?
Do I need to stop Jade from doing things?
Jade hasn't
I don't
done
know,
anything
dude.
yet.
Was she still walking towards the tree?
Oh yeah.
Walking is an understatement.
Well, to be fair, at this point, I think it's more of a case of slowly being puppeteered towards it. I mean, yeah. The body is being forced at this point. Whether it's of the trees doing or Jade's doing might be...
Okay if I knock out Jade?
You're gonna knock out Jade? Okay.
Getting a consensus in this time of panic is a bit of a luxury here. Norlai,
Yeah,
you're gonna have to make it decisive.
I don't have time to listen to Norlai, I'm sorry.
Alright, roll your damage.
Lots of damage.
Are you letting chaos flow through, or are you gonna roll me a d20 to try and shut the door?
That's a cantrip.
Oh, yes.
Oh, damn. All right. Well then.
That's a lot of
Yeah, 23 damage on a Ray of Frost is pretty good there. That's right.
No,
it was Ray of Frost. I'm looking at the damage output. I'm like, okay, so that was the level 1 or whatever. No, that.
No, it's
it
12.
rolls it rolls it twice because there's a critical hit.
Yeah, because the advantage.
Yes.
The advantage one was a critical, so it'll roll the plus 11.
Gotcha.
Keeps
All
the
right.
critical damage separate. So it's just 12.
Okay.
If it wasn't for the fact that I already... Go ahead.
I mean, unless Norlai wants to Tides of Chaos to really doubly fuck up Jade.
There's our one.
So Norlai, are you putting any frosting on this cake, or are you throwing it at Jade?
No, just a little bit.
All right, not putting.
It's a cupcake, really. It only needs a little.
Okay. So Jade, you're impacted with a dollop of 12 cold damage.
And it's at this point, Jade, I imagine it slams her in the back and she stumbles forward and just hits, and it's almost like a slight baseball slide before she stops. And then maybe her arm is, just her fingers are dragging towards the tree. She's out cold, but the body's still going.
Okay, so you are in death saving throw mode, correct?
Yep, and I guess I make one now. There's one success.
All right. Jade,
so how far away is Jade now?
Your arm extended, fingers twitching in your dance between life and death.
How far is Jade from me?
I don't know about. She's probably like 10 feet from the tree at this point.
Yeah, so about 100. So she'd be about 110 feet away from you, Mordecai. No, wait, no, you moved up.
So I moved up 20 feet. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So she's 90 feet away from you.
Balls.
Are you doing anything then?
I can do something about it.
Okay.
Well, you can do something after your guardian angels.
My guardian angels are concentration. So long as I don't cast another concentration spell.
All right. Well, we haven't cycled back around to do anything else yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm staying put. How far is Bright from me?
Yeah.
Bright had been kind of creeping up alongside.
Yeah, I came closer so I could fireball everyone.
So yeah, so she's probably.
I'm probably about 50 feet away.
Yeah,
would
that
be
sounds
my guess.
about right. And Salty Dragon Tavern, welcome. In fact, I got to check this real quick, as Salty Dragon Tavern might have been. Yeah, Salty Dragon Tavern is the 1,000th follower of the channel.
Yay!
Yay!
And hopefully I didn't say that while like anyone was caught in ad purgatory or something. Like, yeah, suddenly come back and everyone's thinking like, oh yeah, victory, and meanwhile it's just excruciating like danger and horror.
Now you know, the next city we go to, it won't have a tumbled wench. It's gonna have a Salty Dragon Tavern.
maybe some competition can crop up here. So yes, Salty Dragon Tavern, thank you for the follow and being the 1,000th follower of the channel.
Yeah.
If Bright is within range, I want to send her a healing word as well. Is she 50 feet from me or 60 feet from me?
You said Bright?
Yes.
Bright was 50.
From me?
Yes.
Okay. And yeah, there's a healing word coming.
Pew. Except the good kind.
Thank you. I need it, but thank you. Actually thinking I might need to get knocked down again pretty soon.
That's not what I'm concerned about right now.
Mordecai, as you've been casting these healing words, by the way, you've been getting more intense tastes of blood in your mouth. Celine had a very interesting, very nice, like applewood charred smoky flavor here. No, but Celine tasted like blue. And I'm gonna leave that to you to imagine what blue tastes like.
Blueberry. Also tastes like a Prussian. You haven't had toilet paper since 1979.
Bright. Well, I don't know what Bright would taste like right now.
Thank you. Pink. I kind of taste like cotton candy with strawberry flavor.
I taste like cotton candy too.
Maybe
strawberries makes sense because she's tasted like strawberries before.
Maybe almost like sickeningly sweet when everything else is just so horrid around you. Just this sudden. It's like being in the movie theater and then you walk outside and you're at like the noon showing and you're like, the sun, really? And this is even not being a vampire. This is just being, you. You're getting just this like sudden intense sweetness in the midst of this whatever is going on here.
No.
Okay. And anything else then? Or am I going to get to do something?
Just maintaining the counter spell.
Okay.
The counter charm.
The wicker people, whatever, begin running forward. And they're starting to close the gap from the edge of the glade as they're dashing forward. And they are running in a tightening noose around you all. Welcome home, welcome. And it sounds like rasping, and even the tree is still welcoming you all. Is still welcoming you home. Welcome home, welcome home. From myriad faces inhaling and exhaling at the same time. The plant people, those of them that can try and manifest a voice, are doing the same. And they are quickly closing in. Although for folks like Mordecai, as you did stick a little bit behind, Mordecai, there's gonna be a lot of them on you here shortly, because you're on the perimeter, and so they're gonna reach you closer or more quickly than they are going to reach those more on the interior. And we're coming back around. We have all of you can do something.
Guess we're making another save.
Show me potato salad. Hey, just got there.
It's close.
That is. All right, so with a 10 death save, you are you're still clenched up enough that you're not bleeding your own blood. Not
Whose blood am I bleeding then?
That's the question. Okay, so that was Jade's turn. Who else wants to do something?
Okay, so the wicker people, what, how
many are there?
I'm running away from the tree, first thing.
Plural dozens.
And if there's a group of wicker people in the way, so okay, so Jade is down. Oh no, I don't want to leave Jade. What about Celine? What's going on with her? She's up or?
Yeah, I'm up and surrounded by angels of death. You can't walk into that area. You are designated as to not get hurt by it.
Yeah, I think you're gonna be okay because you have angels of death. Mordecai, are you? Oh, are you going to be able to heal Jade?
I think Celine's closer.
Hey,
I can heal. I can heal Jade.
Okay, thank you. Please do that. I don't want to leave her behind. And I'm going to start running away. And as I get close to the wicker people, I'm going to see if I can fireball a hole in them.
Okay. All right.
Pretty good damage.
All right, so, Bright, you manifest this fireball, you let it fly, and you blow a rather large hole in their ranks. Your magic doesn't seem to get whatever countered, dispelled, annihilated, absorbed. Whatever was happening with this tree doesn't seem to be happening to these wicker folk, as just as they like wither and they crumble and they're on fire. Though you hear the tree behind you scream in agony with the voices of men and women and children, and then the voices are no more, and the wicker people that you've blasted crumble to ash.
Well, I opened up a hole, so maybe we can get out this way, and I'm gonna run toward the hole.
We still need the crystal sample, though.
Yeah, maybe we can come back for it later.
Bray, what's your passive perception?
And
10.
10? Okay. Never mind. It's a big whoosh, and a lot of voices crying out.
Did anyone else see it?
Well, I mean, it's hard to miss what Bright does.
No, I mean, it's just like if you're looking for anything else with passive perception, because I got passive perception 60.
Not unless you can speak Gnomish.
Nah.
Okay, then.
hey,
Alright, so seeing that Bright punched a hole with Fireball, I'm gonna cast Moonbeam. And I'm just gonna have that trailing in front of us and just run.
Okay, so you're kind of using it like a snow plow, like just to keep it in front of you to try and keep the way clear, kind of thing. Okay.
Which does mean that my counter charm is dropped.
All right.
just for one turn though, right?
Yeah, I can pick it up next turn, but no,
Okay.
I have to use an action to move the moonbeam if I'm gonna use it.
All right. Did you place it to try and create a placeholder to run through, or are you targeting some of them right now to try and zap them, and then you're gonna run through it?
Target some now and run through that.
Sure.
Just past where Bryant's fireball perimeter was, just right there on that, right there.
Okay.
Just keep knocking them out.
Hits, and these creatures unravel like high tension wires, kicking, and they unravel and unspindle in front of you, like a compressed spool that or a spring that's been released. As these figures just.
Jade is still down, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Well,
Now the question is... Oh, go ahead.
After the moonbeam happens, because I haven't done anything yet, since my Angels of Death, what I'm going to do is, as a bonus action, I'm going to Healing Word Jade.
Okay.
Just at first level. It'll be enough to get you out of here.
Oh, don't you worry about me. Thank you for the opportunity. This is the point where... Go ahead.
Yep, so that... Oh, is that max damage? That was max healing.
Next.
It was the maximum of definitive damage. And now that was a bonus action. I do still have a cantrip. Now, I need to get an I suppose Chill Touch doesn't necessarily work like that. Because I was gonna see if I could use Chill Touch to maybe smash something, chop a bit of the crystal off. But I imagine it'll probably just get counted anyway, because of the instant nature of...
Celine, I'm gonna ask you a question.
Yeah?
Are you confusing crazy with stupid right now?
No. Just want to grab a little bit of the crystal, and then grab it and run away.
Well, okay.
I mean, unless you want to go and get the thing, Jake.
Oh, I came in with a plan right from the get-go.
You're not gonna have the time to talk this out. This is you got these plant things that are running in. You're gonna have to take decisive action here.
All right, stupid. Well, two of them are going to die via means of a Chill Touch. They are going to two of them that are within 5 feet of each other are going to get attacked because Reaper.
Okay.
So that's the first one, and
enough, you could get that
that's
off.
the second one.
It'll hit.
First one is 4, and the second one is 15.
Whoa.
Okay. So the second one, your necrotic damage interacts with these brambles, these twigs or vines or whatever, and it just sort of decomposes into a wet slop and just into the grass.
So who's within 15 feet of me right now? Oh, within 30 feet. Sorry.
Jade is probably the only candidate right now that.
Within 30 feet of me?
Yeah.
Okay, if I was to move 30 feet towards the brambling, would Bright and Mordecai also be in?
Bright, yes. Mordecai is, I think, too far back.
Okay. Well then what I will do is I'll move to keep... is there a place that I can move where Jade and Bright would be within 15 feet of me?
15 or 30?
15.
Not 15.
15, no. Because I ran away the other way.
Alright, so, I'll stick to within 15 feet of Jade so that the angels of death flitter around her protectively.
Oh, goody.
Alright.
And, Celine is also gonna, as the object interaction, pulling out her, the Sunblade and shield, like, yeah, no, we're gonna fight our way out.
Okay.
Alright.
Who else is doing something then?
I think I will now.
Well,
Yeah.
You made a death saving throw in this round, didn't you?
Didn't have to, I healed her.
Okay.
I healed her with Healing Word, with using a bonus action, so she doesn't need to make it a lot.
Okay. So, it's at this point, Jade gets up, and again, it's more that puppeteer motion, right? A marionette more than anything. As Jade doesn't have a choice in this, she knows exactly what needs to be done. As she runs towards the tree, and you know those large crystals we need to end up getting?
Yeah.
Jade's going to rip one out of the ground, and she's going to hurl it towards Mordecai. And
Okay.
I know she's going to do this because I choose to use my birthday 20. November 3rd.
Yep, that works!
Certainly played then. Alright.
Okay, so...
You dash forward. You go to the crystal that had been weakened by the banging of the spade with the unseen servant that Bright manifested here, and named Betty. With an otherworldly, with a divine within her something. Crack, crack. Little bits of crystal and shrapnel just bing, 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 fly out as you just see the crack expand. Your Jade, you're bulging and you swear something is tearing, probably displacing as you're... You yank the crystal up and...
Caber toss over the top.
Okay. So you do it just akin to a suplex, like just, and all the strain, you fall backwards. And so for the rest of you see this crystalline chunk and roll through the grass as these little creatures, and well, they're not all little. And Jade, you're racked with pain. Your muscles are torn. Your joints hurt, and you're there at the base of the tree. And all the faces look down. And all the faces smile. And all the faces begin to open as
no save, no nothing?
No. Jade is encased. And you can see as she is being, as this almost like a tendril dripping out of her face is like her one arm and her face is the last thing kind of dangling. And Jade, as your broken body is being pulled into this tree, you see the others. You see the crystal laying in the pasture or in this clearing. Would you like to say or do anything? As just it almost tickles. You have all of these little kisses of all these little faces, just kind of like just like that, not harming you. They're not tearing chunks out. They're welcoming you. They're whispering. Their breath kind of tickles. They're dozens of little kisses all over.
Now, do I understand that I am now officially part of this network?
No.
No? Okay, I just want to be clear.
You are you right now.
Yeah, so you're not part of the network yet.
Because I'd like to spoil the milk.
Oh no!
Because now
I see the plan now.
I don't have to worry about it because now I got an armor of flesh. Oh, wrong one. Wrong one. That's the one that requires concentration.
All right.
And I am currently encased.
Oh, go ahead.
So at this point, a non-moving target is now encased in the entirety of Jade's hunger. She's going to eat her way out from the inside through the exterior.
She's gonna consume the tree!
You all see a manifestation that you have before as this blackness, this night sky made manifest, complete with cold, distant stars, forms. And then all these little mouths get a hold of all of these little tendrils and like slurping up spaghetti.
Ooh.
Those mouths are hungrier than Jade's, and the spell.
Yeah, gets quelched. But don't worry, because I haven't... Oh, actually, no, I can't do that. That won't work. I know what I can do then.
You have your mouth left as these faces are covering you.
I would like to do something.
Real quick, Jade, do you wish to say or do anything before your mouth is covered? You could blow a raspberry for all I know, but it's up to you.
What are your last words, alright? hardest. Save them. Save them from me.
And she is pulled into the big gnarled trunk of this tree of faces.